This tutorial looks at drawing tools: pens, highlighters, creative tools, erasers, shape tools, and line tools. To write on the screen, you need to open the drawing pen icon. When you click on this, it will bring up a secondary toolbar. The first icon contains pen tools, and when you select it, a variety of colors appear. Select the one that you want to use, and then simply write on the screen. You are able to change the thickness of that line by selecting the up arrow here and going to a thicker line, and it will then appear in a bolder size. It's recommended that when you are writing on your panel that you hold the pen at right angles to the screen, and this will ensure that you get the best outcome. If you want to move this around now, select this select mode icon and tap on the thing you want to move. You can then shift it wherever you need to on the screen. You can pull on these circles to make it bigger or smaller, and you can also rotate it using this top circle here. While it's highlighted like this, you'll notice that down below there is the color picker icon, and it's telling me I'm writing with blue. If I click on this and then click on the outline tab, I can then change the color of the word that's written there by clicking on any of these circles that you see here, or by going into the actual spectrum itself and selecting colors that I want to use. So once I find a color that I want, I need to tick this little box that you see here, and that will then set this color in place. If you don't tick that box, then it reverts back to the original color. The second icon over is the highlighter. You can select any of the colors that you see here, and the automatic default size is 48, so that it will cover large fonts like this, but once again you can go to the up arrow and just select a narrower width. Now the only things that you will be able to erase are the pens and the highlighters, and the eraser is this icon that you see here. When you select this, this is governed by the size of the line thickness, so that will erase just that small amount there, or just small amounts on the screen. If you change the width to say 96, that will erase larger amounts. And you see it only will erase the pens or the highlighters. It won't erase any of that typed information or the images that you see there. If you do want to remove any of those, use your select mode to select the thing you want to remove, and then down below here there is a trash bucket. If you click on this, that will then remove that from the screen. If you need it back, just hit the undo button here, and that will bring it back on the screen. A new feature of version 1.5 are the creative tools, and they're found at this icon here. When you click on this, it will allow you to select a variety of images. I'm just going to change this back to a normal size. The first one is a river, so you're able to actually put a river on the screen. And the next one is a railway bridge. Once again, you can make that slightly smaller. And there are two types of roads. And there's a superhighway as well. So using these tools, the next page just shows you that you are able to combine them with the clip art that's found in the multimedia bank to create your own little villages. Now shape recognition is this icon that you see here. I'm just going to change the thickness once again. Probably for this 3 or 6 would be a good size, and I'm just going to make sure that the pen is dark enough for you to see. And this, you just simply draw a shape freehand on the screen, and it will format that into a proper shape for you. If you're using something like the triangles, if you use your select and tap on the triangle, once again you are able to make these as big or as small as you want. And also when you highlight it with your select, down below here there is the internal angles that can be shown. When I click on this icon, all the internal angles are shown sort of on the screen. When I tap on this again, if you want to remove those, and you can see when I move this around that it will alter that to suit. To remove that, just untick this again on the screen. If you want to see length, if you want to show the dimensions of the object, click on this and it will actually show you some dimensions that once again can be altered to suit. To remove it, just tick the ruler again. If I want to fill any of these shapes in with color because they're just an outline, I can do this after I've drawn them by going to the little fill tool. When I click on this, once again you get a variety of different colors. Just select the color that you want to fill the object with and then click on the object. And click on the object. The good thing about it is if you do want to move things around, that you are able to move it and the fill goes with the actual outline of the shape. Another way that you can draw shapes on the screen is to use the shape tools. When you click on this, this automatically will come up with a variety of different shapes that you can select from. So it's just a matter of selecting the one that you want to use, and you notice your cursor turns into that little shape. If you want to change the color inside, then select this first tab here and you can select the color that you want it to be, and then select the tick. And now when I drag that onto the screen, it will be that particular color. With your shape tools, as I said, once again, using your select, when you tap on them, you are still able to alter the actual size of the thing itself. I'll just draw that shape once again onto the screen. When you place an object on the screen and use select, you'll notice that this little black circle comes alive. This is called the Accelerator Menu. When you click on this, it gives you a variety of different options. If I want to clone this object, this icon can be used here, duplicate selected object. I would just click on it and now I've got a duplicate of that particular shape. You can do that for as many times as you wish. I'm just going to change the color on the inside of that particular shape so you can see the difference between the two. When you draw things on the screen or put anything on the screen, the first thing you put on the screen is your bottom layer and everything else gets stacked on top. So at the moment, this icon was drawn second, so now it's going to be on top of the first one that we drew. You are able to change the ordering of things by selecting that Accelerator menu and go to Object Ordering, and in this case I want to send it to the back, and now when I select this, it's now being hidden by that object. Other things that you may want to do would be to lock an object in place. So you've got an option here of either selecting that Accelerator menu and coming to Lock and then Lock Selected Objects, or the other option, to unlock it, just hit that little padlock at the top. You'll notice that down below here there's also a lock. When you click on this, select this icon here that will lock that object, and once again that little lock comes back. To unlock it, just click on that. Oftentimes you may want to group two objects together, so to do this you'd use your select, and then starting at the outside corner, just drag a box over the two things you want to group and let go. This is now a temporary group, so we are able to move them together, but the minute I tap outside that dotted box, they're now separate items. If you want to group them permanently, use your select, drag a box over both of them, go to that little black circle and go to Group Selected Items and then select Group Selected Items. Now this is a permanent sort of group, so even if I tap outside the gray dotted box, when I come back they are grouped. If you need to ungroup them, just select that Accelerator menu once again, but this time select Ungroup and tap outside the gray dotted box, and then you'll be able to separate them and treat them as separate items. Something else that you may want to do would be to line things up. So you notice at the moment I've got this one down here and this one up there. If I drag a box over both and go to my Accelerator menu, I'm going to go to Object Alignment, and what I want them to do is to be going to the bottom, so they both are at the bottom level of that yellow one. So if I select this, it automatically drops the other one to that level. I've got the other option of going to take this to the left, and they'll both will be behind that one now. I bring that to the right. And to get this back to the original, you can just hit your undo button for as many times as you want, and that will bring back the other shape that's there. You've got two sets of line tools. The first one looks like a lightning bolt, and that's just your general lines, your lines, arrows, dotted lines, right angles, curved lines, and also curved arrows. The second one are called linking lines, and these will actually join two shapes together. So I'll just show you the first one, the regular lines. If I just draw a line between these two objects, at the moment the line is there, but there is no correlation between the line and that actual oval that's there. If I use the linking lines, however, and do the same thing and join these two shapes together, now when I select one of these ovals, you'll see that that line will follow it. So this is quite good for labeling diagrams or if you're doing any sort of mind maps. You may want to create lined pages. So to do this, initially get a blank page, and you're going to select the regular lines that are here, and you're going to select the straight line. You're then going to come over here. We're going to make sure we don't have any fill there. And this color here probably will want red, and you probably will only want it about 3 in thickness, and then just hit that tick. So now when I draw this first line across the screen, I can get it to where I want it to be. I can then select the next line, and this time I'm going to change it and make it blue. And I'm going to draw the second line on the screen. Now I can use that function that we saw before. When you tap on the line, I can duplicate that line. So now I've got a set of lines here on the page. What I'm going to do now, on my computer keyboard, I'm going to select Control A, and what this does is selects everything that's on the screen. Just look for that little black circle. This is your Accelerator menu. What we're going to do is group this first set of lines together by going to Group, and Group, and then now this is a joined group. While it's highlighted like that, I can come down here and duplicate those sets. So I can click on that and drag away the first set, click on it again and drag away the second set. And just keep doing this until you fill up the entire page. So once you've got the page filled, once again, go to your keyboard and select Control A. And that will select everything on the page. Look for that little black circle again, and we're going to go Group Selected Items, Group Selected Items. So now this is a permanent group of lines. Now instead of having to do this every time you want to use a line page, you can actually save what you've just done into the media bank. And to do that, you highlight it with Select, so you've got that dotted box around it and the black circle. Select the black circle, and then you're going to select Add to Media Bank, and this window comes up and it asks you to tag your information, so you can change the name, and you can also give it some keywords, so when you're searching for it you'll be able to find it more easily. Then select OK, and now when I come to the multimedia bank, which is this purple camera, and type in one of those key terms, you'll see that I have brought up that particular page that I wanted to use, so I can just add a new page to the presentation, and then just hit the up arrow that you see here, and it will automatically add those lines to your page. Now before you get the students to write on it, it's a good idea, while it's highlighted like that, to lock it in place by selecting this lock here and the lock there as well, and therefore you are now able to write on the page and if you need to, you can use the eraser, and the eraser will only erase your written words and not any of the lines that are there. I can increase that to get rid of more of that from the screen. Thanks for viewing this tutorial. Contact us for further information.